screen. I am using the Quilt Maker Pro 18 today instead of the 20 because there's so many 18 users out there that I would like, and they have the words on their screens. But I will refer back to what you will also see on the 20. I have the manual sitting right beside me so I can show you pictures, okay? So the first thing I want you to notice is that there is two different stitch modes. There's regulated and manual, okay? We're going to talk about regulated first. So regulated is where all your stitches are going to be the same length no matter how fast or slow you're moving your machine. Now, with that being said, there is an alarm on your machine that will be this high-pitched sound if you're going faster than it can regulate stitches. That is something that you can turn off. Oh, my machine's on. Jenny, I did put my machine on the side. I was thinking it would help with the maybe I didn't think. Are y'all all having to watch that sideways? If y'all are, I'm sorry. Hold on. So far away. I am not technically inclined. If my job was to do camera work all the time, Janome would fire me. Okay. Thank goodness that's not what I was hired to do. Okay. Now stand up straight. I played with this a lot and had it sideways and perfect for y'all. Oh well, so much for that. Okay. Don't get car sick. I'm almost done moving it. Okay. Here we go. So we have regulated and manual. Again, regulated is where all of our stitches are going to be the same size no matter how fast or slow we're moving it. Okay, and to change your stitches per inch, you would hit the minus or the plus sign right here on your screen. Okay, normally you're going to see people use anywhere from 10 to 12 stitches per inch. Go on the higher side if you have an intricate design that has lots of little bitty sections in it, you know, like if it's, let's just say like, you know, there's a design out there called 60s or something like that, or 70s, I can't remember, but it's like one of those Volkswagen vans and a peace sign and a surfboard and a little bitty flowers. And those are itty bitty designs that are so hard for this machine to give you beautiful stitching if you have it set on 10 stitches per inch instead of 12. When you have it on 12, it's going to do little bitty curves better. It's going to go in and out of points better because it's getting more stitches per inch, so it can round it a little bit better, okay? So just be thoughtful of that when you are quilting a quilt that has intricate designs. If you've got one that's flowy, like a bubble pattern, and you've got a nice 12-inch depth on it, then you're going to be fine with doing 10 stitches per inch. And let's face it, if you have to rip out any stitches, it's much easier to rip out 10 stitches per inch than it is 12, okay? So when we are in regulated mode, we have two different styles of regulation that we can use. One is called precision and one is called cruise. Right now I have cruise highlighted, okay? Cruise is where your machine is going to always give you a steady stitch. So I'm going to show you that. So right now my machine needle is moving even though I'm not moving the machine, okay? And if I were to be free motion quilting, let me turn the gears off of my Pro Stitcher real quick. If I were to be free motion quilting and I was doing a swirl and I paused like I normally do, it gives me a pretty stitch coming out of that swirl because it's not trying to catch up with how fast I'm moving my machines with my hands. If you're in precision mode, there might be a slight hesitation right there when you come out of that point because precision is precise, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, I have mine on 7%. If you're free motion quilting and 7% is too fast for you, bump it down. The reason why I have it set on 7% is because that is the recommended setting for when you're using Pro Stitcher on a Quilt Maker Pro 18, okay? You can go lower than 7% using the Pro Stitcher, but you are always supposed to be in cruise mode in 7% or less, okay? What that does is it's the same principle as what I just showed you with the swirl. It gives the machine an extra stitch when it is doing intricate designs and it's pausing, because all of our machines, if we have a Pro Stitcher, go different speeds as it's doing a design. So that's how it assists with making prettier stitches for us. Okay, now If I was going to, for some reason, want to up my percentage per inch and I'm free motion quilting, I might do this at 20% if I'm free motion quilting and I'm trying to do little bitty pebbles, okay, and I want to do it in regulated mode. I personally don't do that. I'll talk about this in a second too. When I'm doing pebbles, I actually go into manual mode. But let me show you kind of what it sounds like, what it looks like, okay? So this is how fast my needle's moving without me moving it. So what it does is it helps you make rounder pebbles because it's giving you a little bit of extra stitching if you're not going very fast. Okay? So that's when people will up their cruise speed. I'm not going to really, I don't think y'all are really interested in seeing what my stitching looks like. We're more interested in learning this. That's why I'm not zooming in. I don't want to make y'all car sick by moving my screen a bunch. Okay? I don't know if I told y'all this in another live, but a few weeks ago, I try to always watch my lives after I do them to make sure I didn't say something wrong that I need to correct, you know, or anything, which I do. There is something I need to correct, but I'll do that next week. My stand's just loosened up on me. Hold on, y'all. Gosh. You know, I think I just pretend like this is for entertaining that I always have a mess up here. Okay? I'm just going to try to hold this. There we go. Goodness gracious alive. Ah! Okay. It's the Kelley show. Okay. Now I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I have no idea what I was saying. I guess I was saying that I go back and I watch these. And I was watching one a few weeks ago and got so sick from my camera moving so much that I literally had to go lay down before I threw up. So I don't want to make y'all car sick watching my video. So I'm doing the best I can to not touch the phone as little as I can. It really is alive, no do-overs. That's right, Jenny, it is. It's one thing I always get nervous about. Every day that I do a live, I am nervous until it's time to do it. I can't even eat lunch on those days. Is that not crazy, y'all? Okay. But anyway, so that is stitch mode regulated on cruise. Does anyone have any questions about regulated and cruise mode right now while we're still have those selected? And notice that they are selected because they are both blue, okay? If there are any questions, just ask me. I'm going to try to give y'all opportunities in between each thing that I explain, okay? So if there aren't, and I'm going to wait just another second, then I'm going to go on to regulated and precision mode. What I want you to notice is that when I select precision, that percentage has disappeared on my screen, okay? And that's another telltale clue that I am definitely in precision mode. Now, if you have a Quilt Maker Pro 20, your screen is going to look a little more like this. And this is precision, and this is cruise when you're in regulated mode. So, again, on a Quilt Maker Pro 20, this is precision mode, and this is cruise mode, okay? Okay. Now, in precision mode, I'm going to be very blunt and honest with you. I do not use precision a lot at all, okay? Precision is what I would use if I am doing ruler work because the needle is precise. It only moves when you move the machine, and if your frame is just a tad bit unlevel and you've got your machine activated, you've hit the start button but you're not moving it, and your machine drifts just a little bit, that needle's going to go and try to make a stitch or try to start to make a stitch because your machine's moving, okay? Now, here's a key thing to remember about precision mode. When you are in precision mode, that needle stop position is overridden. Your machine is not going to do your needle stop position up or down unless you hit the start button or stop button on your handlebar, okay? But if you're just sewing along, it's going to stop wherever you stop until you hit the stop button on your handlebar, okay? So remember that. Now, the reason why you would use precision mode when you're doing roller work is because you have to do a lot of pausing and moving your ruler and repositioning your hands as you're doing ruler work. And you don't want your machine to sit there and be doing a steady stitch the whole time that you are doing that, okay? Okay. Another reason why you might use precision mode, if you're a brand new quilter and the long arm is still a little foreign to you, you might want to stay in precision mode when you're first starting. Because when you are a free motion quilter and you're just starting, you have a lot of thought processes going on in your head when you're trying to do something, even when it's just meandering. So you might do a lot of hesitating and stopping while you're free motion quilting to think about, hey, what direction do I want to go? And if that's the case, if you were in cruise mode, it might put too many stitches in one spot while you're standing still, and then put a big knot, ugly knot on the back of your quilt, and then break your thread. So if you are brand new, you might want to start out in precision mode, okay? Now, are there any questions about regulated and precision mode? Okay. Giving y'all a chance. I want y'all to ask if you're needing an answer to a question. So we're going to go into manual mode. Manual mode is where I honestly have started doing a lot of my free motion quilting in. I like the sound of my machine when I am stitching in manual mode and free motion quilting. It is a more calming sound because my machine is not trying to keep my stitches all the same length, so my motor and my machine is not rearing up and lowering down and rearing up, which is fine because, we bought the machine so we could have regulated stitches, and if you want to do everything in regulated mode, go for it. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if the sound of the machine ever bothers you while you are, try it out in manual mode. Now, let's talk about some of these little things over here called presets, okay? Presets are preset speeds you can save to your machine for whatever kind of stitching you might be doing free motion wise. So let's just say I was going to do pebbles, okay? I don't even know how fast it's going to go. Let's just see. Yeah, so 50% is a good speed for me to do pebbles. I'm going to push the machine closer to it so you can see the screen a little bit better. So that would be my go-to for my pebble speed. Now, if I was doing meandering, I might bump it all the way up to 70, okay? Because I meander pretty fast. And right now, if I was a guessing person, I would say that roughly my stitches are probably close to 10 stitches per inch with me moving the machine that fast, but with my percentage also that fast. Again, I'm going to move the machine closer to the screen again. There we go. So this is why you might want to preset some of your speeds. Now, let's say you don't know how to set that. So I'm just going to scroll this down to 40%, okay? The way you save that is you just press down on one of these and it saves it to 40%, okay? So it's very easy to save your percentages in manual mode. So give it manual mode a whirl. Again, listen to the smoothness of my machine while I'm free motion quilting. I'm going to move the machine close to the screen again. There we go. I'm going to tell you why I started trying this. I feel like I'm telling y'all something I've told y'all before because I've told so many people this. But the reason why I started testing out manual mode with free motion quilting is because one of my favorite quilters to watch is Angela Walters. And I was watching her video one day, which I had watched, over and over again in many of her videos. And it all of a sudden just clicked and dawned on me, oh my gosh, she isn't using her stitch regulator. And the reason why I knew that is I could hear in the video the sound of her machine, that it wasn't the motor wasn't revving up and slowing down. And I was like, if Angela Walters is doing it that way, maybe it's a better way, so I'm going to try it. And when I did try it, at first I was like, oh, this isn't for me. But when I practiced with it just a little bit, I saw, oh my gosh, I really do love free motion quilting in manual mode. So again, play with your machine, experiment with it, see what you like and you don't like, okay, as far as what you're going to use for your stitch mode. So like I said, this video was going to be a little bit shorter than most days. But here's my end note to you. First of all, start typing if you have a question. Okay, you're going to have a little bit of time to type. Okay, but secondly, Jeannie and I are working very hard to try to give you as much educational material as we can on Thursdays for y'all. Now, she's working on a couple of different, more advanced lives that she'll have to do like series on. But we really need y'all to go on that post that she put on Facebook that's at the top of our page to give us some more ideas of what you want us to see. There are a few of y'all that have posted some things that we have not done yet, but that's because we are working on those, okay? We are going to cover everything that everybody asks for, unless it's like outrageous or we can't figure out how to do it, okay? Or we don't know how to do it. Who knows? But anyway, so again, we need you to go out there and be very vocal about what you want. I've seen a lot of people say just the basic stuff, and I guess I'm overthinking it because to me, I don't know how much more basic stuff I can give you. I feel like I've given you the basics. So please, 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 if there's a question about a button you have on your screen, give me a list. Give us a list of things that you want, and we're going to go over it. I was even thinking about just doing a segment on how to use your bobbin estimator, because we all get confused with that because we're like, how the heck is it? How do we use it? So that's going to be a live coming up pretty soon too. Did somebody ask a question? It looks like it, but I can't see the question. Will precision alarm if you go too fast? Oh, yes, it will. Okay. But anyway, again, type a question if you have one. I'm sorry today's live is so short, but some of them are going to be this short. This is how we intended them to be to begin with, and they just all became long lives, which I don't know how y'all watch them that long because I feel like I can't stand to hear my voice that long. But anyway, so drop us a line on the post and tell us what you would like to see us teach. And until next week, I'm going to say goodbye now, unless I see a question pop up right here at the end. Jeannie and I both are going to be missing 1 week towards the end of this month that we won't be doing a live. She's going to be out of town, and I'm having a stupid little thing removed off my foot, so I'm going to be in La La World. But anyway, so drop us a line, and we will catch y'all next week. And thank y'all so much for watching our lives. We really appreciate it. I hope you're learning a lot from it, and we're going to continue just learning together, okay? So thank y'all, and have a great week.